December 2024, 110,000 new followers, $1.8 million, generated 9 viral reels, 1 million plus views, and 3 clients hit record months. What do you think 2025 has in store for personal brands versus 2024? Some predictions, because you posted your December stats. I didn't post my December stats. I only posted my 2024 stats, but your December stats were, do you have your 2024 stats or no? Polls? No. All right. Well, in December 2024, 110,000 new followers, $1.7 million, $1.8 million, generated 9 viral reels, 1 million plus views, and 3 clients hit record months. What do you think is going to be like the 2025 trends? What do you think you guys are going to do? What do you think 2025 has in store for personal brands versus 2024? Or do you think it's more of the same? Because we had an election.
I think the big thing that I see, and this is not necessarily related to content, I think the big prediction that I have is like that it's a lot of like community, but like not community from like a build a 99 seven a month school community, but I think a lot of it is going to be like the retreats and mastermind or like in-person access types that I will really sort through. Like we're already seeing this across clients where like people, they want that in-person connection. They want to have a mentor, like someone that they can rely on, who they can meet in person. And I think that's a big thing. So I think people crave that human connection like more than ever because they've been hobbling around Zoom. So I think that's a massive one. Like you can tell, like we have clients that literally spend like 200 grand a year to see Andy Elliott once a month. And they go fly around, they like chase around this guy because like I want to be in the same room as him. And I think that's going to be massive. But you can see with chicks even, like a lot of the female offers, the ones that print, they have like some form of like quarterly mastermind and graduations and whatnot because they want to have the like female like sisterhood. You know, I think that's my big one. And the second one that I believe is like, it's a lot of like, it's going to be like an 80-20 principle. Like the top 20%, they're going to do incredibly well. I think the bottom 80 are going to be incredibly bad. More because I think people have figured out what info is and what info is good and bad at. I think now it's really going to come down to who can do it really fucking well. And like who can predictably and consistently like actually get results and actually crack the marketing, because everyone's done shout outs now. Everyone's done Facebook ads. Everyone's done YouTube ads. Everyone's done all the ropey dopes. So now the challenge is going to be who can actually crack a channel where they're somewhat unique and very consistent, and they kind of figure that channel out and actively hammer down on that one. Because if you can, that's great. Like I've seen it. People make 500 grand a month for newsletter. You know, like I've seen all the channels, but like you gotta have a channel where you're a bit unique, and it's not just like, oh, Cole Gordon ran this ad angle, so I'm running the same ad angle. And then when Cole Gordon doesn't have an ad angle, I'm fucked.
That makes sense. Yeah, I honestly agree. I think the in-person stuff is really important. I know someone who paid $25,000 to have a dinner at Ed Milet's house, like, I don't know, a month ago.
Sounds like good investment, to be fair.
It is.
And another one that I have
investment.
is the crossover between streamers and info. There was one guy last year who went on, I think it was Kai Cenat. I think he went on Kai Cenat's stream. It's a YouTube automation guy. And he fit in perfectly with the audience. And he basically just talks about like how he does YouTube channels, yada, yada, yada. And in the end, he's doing like a 4-day challenge. I think he had like 20,000 people sign up for his fucking challenge off of the stream directly. And he's cleared like over 1 million in a single day. And that was like, oh, it's so good. Because even for us, we have 1 or 2 people that go in like Fresh and Fit as guests. And like on Fresh and Fit, you pay 30-40K to be on the show, and you make like a 10x on it, like at least if your sales team is good. Which I think is interesting because that's like the new sort of like meta of like influencer selling, which I think is pretty interesting.
I think info is going to continue to go mainstream. I think you're seeing it a lot in anything physical. Like many of the biggest jiu-jitsu guys right now, they sell instructionals on BJJ Fanatics. Many of the big fitness influencers, I'm not sure about Sam Sulek, but many of these big fitness influencers have some sort of coaching, instructional, they name it different things, right? And they don't want to name it course. Otherwise you're a scammer. So instructionals, tutorials, masterclasses, I think it's going to continue to go more and more viral. That actually reminds me, what are some of the dream niches that you would want to work with that you're not working with. Like for me, I'd fucking die to work with someone in like jujitsu that has the problem with a lot of these niches is they don't know how they're not business people and they don't know how to make a bunch of money. But I would die to work with like a top combat sports person. I think mobility is cool. What else? What are some other ones that you would work
I
with?
I want a Section 8. I want a Section
Section
8
8.
client. I would milk the living shit out of that one. So if you do Section 8 and you see this, please hit me up.
Luxury Airbnb, I would.
Nah, I think that we already have that covered.
I
On like buy and oh sorry, I was like
firmly.
buy and like rent out. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah. You know why I like luxury Airbnb personally for Twitter and LinkedIn is because it's so eye catching as opposed to just like regular house hacking or something like that. Like two families aren't sexy, but many of these big pages on Twitter, like house porn, and like they hit the normie audiences so viral because they're just like sexy houses that you would want to live at or you want to go take a vacation to is so viral. What were you gonna say?
To me was GovTech. GovTech 6-figure jobs. Whether it's cybersecurity, government tech jobs, like those ones, honestly, like I think they slap so hard. I really like that one.
I just got a lead in for like remote work B2C like coding offer. I thought it was interesting.
There you go. It's another good offer. Like those types, I just like the quirky ones, you know?
Yeah.
We've done well with the vending machines, ATMs, like all of that to jizzle. We do fucking well for.
Yeah.
I want to have less mainstream ones like e-commerce, like drop shipping. We don't do at all. Like
You probably didn't see you didn't even see my tweet, but it's crazy how it sounds like you're reading my tweet. I'll read it to you. Um, it's basically why people are struggling to grow, and I think it's an offer meta. But I think every niche has a point where it just becomes fatigued, and I think you have to stay relevant. You essentially have to have a pivot or an edge. And you see this with the top personal brands like Logan Paul, Vine, Vlogger, Pokemon, NFTs, boxing, WWE is always like taking a shift to stay relevant. And I think you can take something from that for info. All the old offers, SMMA, six pack abs, drop shipping, they were kind of like the originals, but now you have to have kind of an edge. TikTok shop instead of drop shipping. What's another one? Instead of six pack abs, it's carnivore diet. Instead of SMMA, it's fucking AI agency, right? Like something like that. You have to have an edge. So I completely agree with you. And we're looking at that for I like those clients too because it's hard to go viral in the basic niches.
I think with the offer meta though, I think it comes down to being able, like you can revive those niches if you know how to make a unique tweak. I think one is obviously how can you angle it? Because if you just say the word drop shipping, like it doesn't matter. We have this client who he's in high ticket drop shipping and he makes like 2 mil a month. But what he does is he just frames it so differently. So like you don't think that it's actually like high ticket drop shipping when that's reality what it is. I think that's a big thing. But the second thing is as well like how you position the offer. Because nobody wants a course plus coaching offer anymore. People want the license system or like the AI setup and like we basically AI set up the course, then we do this and then we set up your ads and then basically we like people want the offer that feels very done for you and it feels very new. So I think with a lot of these like coaching offers that used to be just like course plus community, I think a lot of them to survive need to actually become proper consulting companies. It's like, for example, for an Airbnb client of ours, he now has like every single student gets access to a one-on-one like support coach with like a CSM, but who actually has a 10K per month Airbnb business. So like that is going to amp up the fulfillment costs. Is it going to help because now you can cross sell? Yes. But I think the big landscape shift to me at least is like building the offers more as a service now. And then number two, actually being able to frame it in a way where, you know, you sort of actively know what the end goal is and you have something on the back end that you can upsell. Is like an actual like thinking through business model as opposed to just sell information.
Yeah, I agree. I think we have a publishing client who's very similar. It was course and community, but now they need to do some sort of AI ghostwriting. Like you have to kind of implement it, or you need to have an AI agent who's cold calling. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to include some sauce in there. And I honestly, the way I related it, just to wrap that up, is it's like in a video game, like when you're running an old character that just got nerfed. Like in FIFA, you're trying to play fucking 3-back, but they just nerfed it and all the center backs are too slow. So you have to switch to 4-back or 5-back. It's the same thing. It's like you're trying to run the old meta. So you got to
Yep.
kind of keep it fresh. But yeah, I completely agree. It's funny that you said that because I had this tweet that I put out, but my long, actually valuable tweets never get likes. I have to tweet something that's fucking boring.